Welcome back. This week, Paleontology 2. Let's continue where we left off. Let's start out with the question, who named the dinosaurs? Who do you think it was? Do you know? Well, it was in 1841. The word dinosaur was first used by an English scientist by the name of Sir Richard Owen.
Sir Richard Owen was his name.
And the word dinosaur means terrible lizard. Let's review a little bit about what we learned last time. What does the word paleontology mean? Do you remember? Well, it means the study of ancient life. Now, what was the period of time called when the dinosaurs were alive? What was that whole time? Not just the Jurassic, not just one part of it. What was the whole time? We sang a song about it. It was the Mesozoic.
Mesozoic mind.
And finally, what killed the dinosaurs? This is an easy one. An asteroid! But remember, maybe some of the dinosaurs survived, right? Let's talk about that in a little bit. So how do we know so much about the dinosaurs? Well, by studying their fossils. Fossils are parts of ancient living things which have been preserved in stone. And fossils can teach us many things. Fossil evidence has helped prove the theory of continental drift. Scientists first came up with the idea a while back that the continents actually shift. North America, South America, Africa, they drift, and they're actually on plates, giant plates called tectonic plates. And these tectonic plates they're moved and they shift by these giant, massive mountain ranges under the ocean that push apart the plates. And part of the evidence that was a determining factor which made this idea be accepted was the fossil evidence. Scientists found fossils that stretched across the continents. For example, fossil remains of Synognathus, which lived in the Triassic period, stretched across South America and Africa as if they were connected. And you can even kind of see how South America kind of fits along Africa as if they were split apart. Other kind of fossils as well stretch across different continents as if they were all once connected in a giant landmass or multiple land masses. And it's impossible. It would have been very, very, very unlikely for these land animals to be able to cross an ocean. So they must have been connected by land at some point. Finally, Charles Darwin, he's a very famous scientist, used his fossil evidence that he found to support his theory of species evolution. Can you say evolution? Ooh, did you say it? What is evolution? Do you know? Well, doesn't have to just do with Pokemon. It has to do with real animals. Evolution is a process where living creatures slowly change into new species over a long time by passing on their traits. So, for example, did you know that whales are actually mammals? They're not fish. They breathe air and they have hair like we do. And over many, 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 many years, very long time, hundreds of thousands, if not millions of years, whales originally lived on land. And they slowly evolved to specialize to live in the water. And they slowly lost their legs, and their legs evolved into fins, and now we have whales today. The same goes with people. People are part of the great ape family. Scientists designate us in the great ape family, and we are very closely and directly related to apes. not monkeys, but apes like chimpanzees and orangutans and gorillas. Finally, dinosaurs. Dinosaurs are directly related to birds. And over many millions of years, dinosaurs slowly evolved into the modern birds that we see today. They specialized and changed their traits and passed on their traits, for example, which helped them to better survive. Maybe these feathers and other traits that they passed on allowed them to catch their prey better or allowed them to escape danger better until finally they evolved into modern birds that we see today. And it's these few dinosaurs that survived the giant asteroid blast, the smaller ones. They were able to survive. They were already on the pathway to becoming birds. And it's these avian dinosaurs that survive today. And actually, all birds are considered dinosaurs. They're avian dinosaurs. In 1859, when evolution was a very brand new idea, it was very hard for people to believe it, and there wasn't enough fossil evidence. But in 1863, just a few years later, Sir Richard Owen, we remember him, right? He coined the word dinosaur. He found a complete skeleton of an Archaeopteryx, which means the first bird. And here it is. It's awesome. It's incredibly well preserved, this fossil skeleton of this Archaeopteryx. It has incredibly detailed imprints of very clear feathers and feathered in it, but it has a feathered reptilian tail. There's many traits that you can see that are much closer related to reptiles. For example, it has claws on its wings. It has tiny serrated teeth instead of a beak. And it has this long reptilian tail. There are other skeletons as well that were found of other dinosaurs that are almost like an in-between stage, between evolutionary stages of dinosaurs and birds. This is a microraptor. It has wings on its arms and on its legs. It had 4 wings. It had a very long reptilian tail with feathers as well. It also had a reptilian pelvis and other reptilian features like claws and sharp teeth too. But it had feathers, and it was very bird-like. So that means that scientists now think that most carnivorous dinosaurs had feathers. Many newly discovered dinosaur fossils show feather imprints, and so this leads scientists to believe that most meat-eating dinosaurs had feathers. And they looked closer to these images. These are artistic representations of what dinosaurs really looked like, what they could have looked like. And I think they look incredible. They're even more fascinating, I think, now than we ever knew before. Very bird-like. That means that Jurassic World is actually very wrong in its depiction of velociraptors and other carnivorous dinosaurs. That's not to say that I don't still enjoy these movies, but they are wrong, and that's something to think about. This is what a velociraptor may have actually looked like. This doesn't mean that all dinosaurs had feathers. No. Duck-billed dinosaurs, horned dinosaurs like Styracosaurus, and other dinosaurs like armored dinosaurs did not have any feathers, because scientists have found skin imprints, very detailed skin imprints of these dinosaurs that had scaly skin, as well as all long-necked sauropods had no feathers. These very large dinosaurs had no feathers, so it was just the carnivorous dinosaurs which had feathers. What are we going to do today? Let's add feathers to an older picture of a carnivorous dinosaur. So, follow along with me in this next step, and we'll add some feathers to a dinosaur. When you're ready to get started here on your Seesaw assignment, you can go up to the tab at the top for Seesaw, And here's the assignment. It says, first watch the lesson video. Next, find a picture of a carnivorous dinosaur that you like and copy it. Okay? Then click Add Response and click Drawing and paste the dinosaur. Okay, let's do this part first. So go up to the tab at the top and click the little New Tab button. And then you can search for meat-eating dinosaur. Because that's what a carnivore is. Carnivore eats meat. And then you can click Images. And we can search for a picture of a meat-eating dinosaur. Now, it's only been relatively recently that scientists have come to the understanding that most carnivorous dinosaurs actually had feathers. So you should be able to find a picture of, say, like an older picture of a dinosaur that does not have any feathers. Or even one from newer movies that still doesn't have feathers. And then you can copy it. So once I find one I like here, I can go over to the picture. And if you're on a Chromebook, if you put your mouse cursor on the picture, you can touch the touchpad with 2 fingers, and it'll bring up your right-click menu. If you have a mouse, you can right-click on it. Then you can go to Copy Image, okay? Or if you're also on a Chromebook, you can hold the Alt key and then click. And that will bring up the right-click menu as well. And then you can just copy image. So you want to get the menu open. So once your right-click menu is open, go to Copy Image. We're going to copy this image. Let's go back to Seesaw. Let's click Add Response. Then let's click Drawing. And to paste, you want to push and hold down the Control key and then press the letter V once. And that'll paste it. There I have a picture of a carnivorous dinosaur. I can resize it if I want, reposition it. But let's see what the rest of the assignment says. So it says, finally, search Google Images for feather. Click Tools, then click Color, and select Transparent. Okay, let me show you how to do that. Okay, so let's go back to Google Images. We're going to search for feather. F-E-A-T-H-E-R. Feather. And then we're going to want to go to Tools. Right here. Now after you search for feather, click Tools under Google Images. And then it'll bring up this little menu, and you want to click on Color right here. Then you go down, 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 and you can click and find a picture with a transparent background. That way we can put the feathers on our dinosaur, and it'll look cool. So you can choose any feather that you see, and it should show up with a clear background for your dinosaur. Maybe I'll choose this one. I'm going to copy this picture just like I did before by right-clicking, going to Copy Image, or holding down Alt, clicking, or double-clicking, double-tapping on your mouse pad on your Chromebook. Copy Image, and let's go back to my picture. Now I'm going to paste my feather. Let's make it a better size. I can change how it's rotated too, and I can start putting my feather onto my dinosaur. Now, I want to get a bunch of feathers, so I can now again copy this feather. Once it's selected and I have it in the right spot, I hold Control C to copy. It's copied, then I hold Control and I press V. I can do this a bunch of times. See that? Control V, Control V, Control V, Control V. And I've got all these feathers that I can now place on my dinosaur in different spots. I can re-rotate them. Usually you want to get them the right size and rotation before you start copying them so much. So maybe I'll Control Z until I get it just how I want. I think I want that a little smaller, and maybe like that. Okay. Now copy, Control C. Now paste, Control V, Control V, Control V, Control V. Cool. Now I can put these feathers all over my dinosaur just how I like. Maybe I'll put some on his arms. And I could even get some other feathers if I want to copy a feather in a place that I just recently put it, I can just Control C, Control V again and paste it right there. And okay, let's put some feathers all along this dinosaur. Sometimes you might want different colored feathers. So I'm going to go back. Let's copy a different color feather. Maybe I want some bright red feathers here. Maybe some cool looking feathers like this. I'll copy this image. Go back to Seesaw. Control V for paste. Now I've got a cool bright red feather. Maybe I want some bright red feathers down its across its head. Control V, Control C, Control V, and I can get these feathers in like a little mane going right down my dinosaur. I can have a really cool and realistic dinosaur. Nobody really knows what the colors of dinosaurs were, but we do know that they had feathers. So we can add a bunch of feathers, and we could be whatever color we want, until scientific evidence, of course, shows us that dinosaurs actually were specific colors. So you can make your feathers be whatever colors you want. Okay, so I've added a bunch of cool feathers. Now, sometimes dinosaurs had a bit of under feathers, like downy feathers. They were really small and they just kind of kept them warm, like almost like fur. So you could put some more color on your dinosaur. You can add how much you want. You can put it whatever colors you like. And once you're happy with your dinosaur, your realistic, non-avian, but evolving into an avian dinosaur, then you can be done. So I'll put the check mark, and maybe your dinosaur looked like this. Or maybe you drew more of your feathers on. That's fine too. Or maybe it looked like this. It's up to you what kind of feathered dinosaur you want to make. But try to make it a carnivore one, because those are the ones that had feathers in real life. I hope you guys had fun with this lesson, and I'll see you next time.